Hi, I'm Tracy Goldizen, the editor of the Rio Rancho Observer. In the coming days, we will be bringing you candidate interviews for the Rio Rancho Public School Board, as well as some representatives from the district discussing the bond issue that's going to be on the ballot November 7. So please join, listen, and cast your vote. Hello, we are here today with Beth Miller, candidate for Rio Rancho Public Schools Board of Education. I just want to give Beth here a moment to introduce herself and talk about her background in education and career to help our readers get to know her a little bit.
Thank you, Tracy, for inviting me here today. I appreciate that. My background has been in education throughout my career. I have been a teacher at the high school level, and I've also worked in administration at the community college and university levels. So I think that background has helped me in terms of knowing how to work with boards of education, with various community groups, and also university regents. So I have a passion for education, and even though I've been retired for several years, a friend of mine told me when I retired to refire. So I traveled for a while, and when this position became open, I thought, I think someone did this for me when I was in school, and I think it's good to continue paying forward.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add to what made you decide for the school board?
No, I just think it's a matter of continuing to serve in the community in what capacity you can. I'm always interested in what young people are doing. I think having worked at the university, when I see young folks, I ask them how they're doing, what they're doing in school, whether it's high school or college. I'm very impressed with them, and any assistance that I can give the Board of Education and working with the community to help our students is something that I'm very interested in.
Okay, and that kind of plays into how do you think your background will lend itself to the issues the school board faces in Rio Rancho?
Well, I think there are many issues that are pertinent to all school districts. So I having worked with students in the classroom, I know what it takes to help them succeed. And having been at the administrative level, I know how to use tax dollars wisely. This continues to be an issue with education. It's moving consistently. We need to move with it, but at the same time, we need to ensure that we're dealing with the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic. So this has always been important to me, and I hope that I could make a positive impact.
Okay. And what do you think the Rio Rancho District is doing right? And what do you think are some of the most pressing issues or concerns that they're facing moving forward?
Well, I've had the privilege of working with the superintendent when I came to help open the campus of UNM in Rio Rancho. She was very interested in that initiative and worked with her to bring some courses out from the College of Education. She's very involved with the community, but I've also known a number of staff and district administrators throughout the years. I moved over here in 2008 from Gallup permanently, so I have worked with these folks for a number of times, been in community groups with them, and I've just always been impressed with the quality of the staff and what they do to try to research issues that are pertinent to the district so that they get the best information they can to make their decisions. So I think that's something that's always impressed me about the district. There are a number of issues that are important to all school districts, and I would, of course, work with the board and the district in discussing whatever remedies or solutions that we come up with in terms of the board.
Okay, do you have any issues specifically that you think need addressed?
No, I really don't. Okay. I just think I need to become familiar with what the board has been considering in terms of what issues have come down from the state or just in society in general going on today.
Okay. And how do you think the district can best reconnect with families who become disenfranchised with the district over the years or who maybe got behind with COVID shutdowns? How do you plan to address that issue?
Well, COVID certainly impacted all of us in many ways, and not many of them were positive. I have grandchildren who had to work through COVID issues with school and being online and that sort of thing, making the transition. I know some teachers who had to flip quickly their methods of delivering curriculum. So it's been a difficult time for everyone coming out of COVID then. Where are our students now? And what do we need to do to help them get back on track if necessary? So it's a variety of issues, I think. I would need to understand, you mentioned parents who might be disenfranchised with the district. I would need to understand why that is. I'm always a person that likes to kind of go back and look at the root cause if I can find it for something, because that's the only way I feel that we can adequately address their concerns and move forward.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on the new behavior and attendance policy that the district put in place this year?
Well, I think those are extremely important issues. The teachers need to feel safe in their classrooms with their students, and if there are behavior issues, I think that our teachers and staff need to know where they can refer those students for assistance. And attendance matters. You've got to have students in the classroom, and I think parents and guardians need to understand this too. So it's a collaborative effort. Everyone has to work together here to make sure these things are improved and that students continue to advance in their studies, to do what they want to do when they leave the public ed system.
Okay. And then, there's been a lot of talk locally and nationwide about parents' rights and education and what school districts might be allowed to keep from parents, confidentiality. What are your thoughts? Are there any circumstances in which maybe the school would be right to keep issues with the students from the parents?
I do think that the parents do have a right to know what's happening with their children. You are responsible for your children until they're 18. And so I think the parents do need to understand what is happening with their children in the classroom.
Okay. And then just recently, there was some talk at the board meeting this week with regards to the messaging that's allowed in classrooms and such. How do you feel about that policy?
Well, I think the neutrality position is what the Board of Education has taken there, and I would agree with that.
Okay. And what do you think the district needs to do moving forward to remain one of the top performing districts in the state?
I think that their history shows that they have always tried to look at issues from a global perspective so that our students are well-rounded and understand how they can become good citizens in the world, if you will. And I think that involves a number of areas, not only the curriculum, but faculty development, staff development, those kinds of things. So I think the district has been very good about that, very wise about what's happening in Santa Fe in terms of educational policy, and they try to influence that, I think, in a positive way. So I would just encourage them to continue what they're doing, and transparency and collaboration are always vital in these efforts with our students.
Okay. And then, there's also been a lot of talk about New Mexico's national ranking in education. How do you think everybody can work together to move that up and improve that?
Well, I think, again, I would need to talk about what's been going on here in the past. We see it from the community perspective, but we don't necessarily see it from the school district perspective and the student perspective, So I think we need to take a hard look at that. I'm not one that believes that always putting more money towards something is the answer unless there are some understandings about what's going to happen with that funding. What are the goals and objectives of that, and how will that support what the students are learning and what they need to accomplish in school to be successful? So it's a huge issue. We have schools in our state that come from fairly wealthy cities, if you will, or we have the Los Alamos Lab, Sandia Lab, so we have cities that have some wonderful opportunities for collaboration with schools, and I think that is happening. But then on the other hand, we have a number of communities in our state that are in poverty disadvantaged districts, folks living in poverty. So I think there are different issues regarding students from those districts. So I think we need to understand the global look at what we're doing. I don't think one size fits all.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to address about your candidacy that you feel like people should know?
Well, I'm just passionate about students, always have been, and I think this is an opportunity for me to use my background and my experience to help as I can with the school board in Rio Rancho, and I would appreciate the opportunity to do that.
Okay, and which seat are you running for? Can you
I'm in
remind
District
everybody?
4.
And what does that cover?
Let's see. Southern and 528 heading west on Southern, basically to where it ends, and then it's kind of headed north a ways. It kind of jogs around a little bit, but I end back up on 528 at about the High Resort area, somewhere in there. So it's one of the smaller districts in the school board districts, but it's number 4.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I really appreciate being invited here today. Thank you for your time. Hello, I'm Beth Miller. I'm running for the Rio Rancho School Board, District 4. I'm running because I've had a long career in education. I'm passionate about teaching and about education initiatives. I have a lot of experience working with community groups, not-for-profit organizations, as well as school boards and university boards of regents. So I understand how the system works, and I think we need to look at education as from a systems approach. It's a big world out there. We need to make sure that our students are adequately prepared to deal with the world. I appreciate your support, and don't forget to vote on November 7th if you haven't voted before then. Thank you.
Election Day is Tuesday, November 7. Rio Rancho voting locations are Broadmoor Senior Center, Cielo Azul Elementary School, Cornerstone Community Church, Our Lady Queen of Angels, Puesta del Sol Elementary, Rio Rancho Middle School, Community of Joy Lutheran Church, Joe Harris Elementary, St. Francis Episcopal Church, Eagle Ridge Middle School, Mountain View Middle School, MLK Elementary, Rio Rancho Elementary, Rio West Business Center, and Sagebrush Plaza. Hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Expanded early voting and same-day registration are available from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at all polling locations. November 4 is the final day for early voting. Absentee voting is currently underway. Ballot requests must be made by November 2 and must be returned by 7 p.m. November 7. Ballot drop boxes are available from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday at the Sandoval County Administration Building D and the Placitas Community Library. They will also be available during polling hours on Election Day. Please get out and vote, and thank you for watching and thank you for listening. This is again Tracy Goldizen, editor of the Rio Rancho Observer. Have a great day.